Welcome to section 4. Every CISA candidate has that moment in the exam when they open a question and they see paragraphs of scenario text. And the first particular reaction will be that of panic. Don't worry, I have been through that as well. This is why I have built this section entirely to take that panic away permanently. Here's the truth about long questions. See, the questions will be long, but the answer will be simple. The length is purely there. Sometimes it's just English, sometimes it's just noise. But your job is to cut through that with a proper systematic manner. And that systematic manner is what we are going to build in this section. So this is the skill that separates fast, confident readers from the slow, anxious ones. Knowing what to ignore. Long questions are deliberately written with distractors and noise. Details that will be true, that sound important, but they don't help you answer the question being asked. And this is why, as an examiner, what they do, I have been an examiner myself. I've made questions for ISACA. We have been instructed to put these to test whether you can focus on the right areas. So, what needs to be ignored? Let us talk about that first because you will eliminate a lot of the bad things or the noise as we call it. Management assurance. Management confirm that it is secure. Okay, that's a trap 2 flag. Irrelevant and not required for you. Systematic specifications. Very technical things like 256-bit AES encryption has been enabled, something like that. Those are technical details and not an audit finding. You are looking at it from an auditor's point of view. Background company information, founding date, industry, size are purely noise. Controls that already exist. You have to apply the first level filter to this. Vendor claims, same as management assurances. Now, what needs to be focused on is what you should look at. Control gaps and weaknesses. Anything that's not working at all or working partially. Risk indicators. Access beyond the job role, unreviewed logs, untested backups, and so on. Missing or absent controls. No DR plan has been tested. Could be one of the things. Compliance failures. Policy exists but is not enforced. Process breakdowns where change management has been bypassed. So when you read a long question, scan for these signals. Okay. Remove the wheat from the chaff as they call it. So remove the noise from the signals. Remove everything else and scan only for the signals because all other things are just background noise. Okay, so here is your long question decoder in 4 simple steps. This is consistent and you can pass the CISA exam and you can just use the same formula for every single question. Step 1, as always, jump to the last line. Before you read a single word of scenario, go to the bottom line. Read the question stem, know what you're answering. It just takes 5 seconds, probably less, even lesser than that, and reduces your cognitive load immediately. Step 2 is to circle the keyword or identify the keyword even if you can't circle because this is all digital that you may be working at. So first, best, primary, most, next, and so on. Lock it in before you start reading up the whole thing. That keyword is your filter for everything that follows. Step 3, filter the scenario. Now that you have read the scenario, but don't absorb everything. You are scanning for facts that are relevant for your keyword. Management assurance, most likely noise. Descriptions of what actually exists, look at it as a trap. Focus on only what will help you answer the question being asked. And lastly, eliminate and choose the auditor's answer. Cross out the weakest options because most likely they will be distractors. Apply step 5 of our 5-step framework. Remember, 5-step framework which we spoke about in detail. Choose the answer that assesses, verifies, or reports. Never the one that implements or fixes, because the auditor never does any of those things. Now let us apply the decoder to a real scenario. A company recently implemented a new ERP system with multiple modules across finance, HR, and procurement. The IT manager states that all controls are in place. Daily backups are scheduled, data is encrypted at rest, and new access roles have been defined. The system went live 2 weeks ago. The question comes now, what should the auditor do next? Okay, now as usual, step 1, last line, what should the auditor do next? So it's the action oriented, sequence matters here. So the key word here we identified, step 2, is next. Not the best long term, not the most important overall, the very next action after go live. Now when you filter the scenario, what is the noise here? The IT managers claim that controls are in place, purely noise. The backup schedule, the encryption, access controls, those are already existing. Again, is it really a signal or a noise? Most likely noise. Now what is the signal then? The system went live 2 weeks ago. That means a post implementation review is the context in which we are working. Step 4, we eliminate and choose any option saying that the system is secure because the backups are in place can be eliminated. Any option trusting the IT manager's assurance again can be eliminated. The correct answer in this scenario will be testing the backup restores to verify that they actually work. See, the scenario was long, but the answer was so simple. Just in 4 steps, we got it done, right? Let's take one more. An organization has completed migration of its core banking application to a cloud environment. Multi-factor authentication is configured for all users. User activity is enabled. Data is encrypted in transit and at rest. And 24/7 monitoring tools are deployed. The project manager states the migration was successful. Now comes the last line. What is the primary concern that the auditor should report? Okay, step 1 is to identify the last line, which is the primary concern, which is the most impactful risk, not just any other risk, right? So this is asking for that part. So the key word here is to the primary, the word primary, where we need to rank it. What is the most significant audit concern here? Step 3 is to filter. Look at what that scenario gives us. MFA has been configured, logging has been enabled, encryption is in place, monitor has been deployed. So T1 alarm fires on every single one. These are controls that exist, but not that controls have been verified as effective, right? So all are noise. The only signal that matters in the question is that core banking data has been migrated to a cloud environment. And that is precisely the audit risk here, that there is supposed to be data sovereignty, third party risk, and data privacy. So start eliminating and answer the right question, which is step 4. Any option that says MFA is configured, therefore access is secure, straight away eliminate it. Any option about logging being enabled, you can eliminate it. The correct answer will be on data privacy risk from the cloud migration, because this is the primary risk or the concern for the auditor to report. See, the scenario described many controls, but the question asks for the primary risk, right? So you can straight away eliminate all the wrong answers and find a signal and choose the auditor's answer. Let us talk time. 150 questions in 4 hours. That is approximately 1 minute and 36 seconds per question, give or take, including the long ones and the short ones. See, long ones don't get extra time. They have the same time budget as a 2-line question or a 1-line question. So you, as your, as a system, you need to build yourself that you need to be fast on both the short questions as well as the long questions. So as always, use our formula. Read the last line first always. This saves you about 30 to 40 seconds per long question. Multiply that by, let's say, 30 or 40 long questions in a CISA exam typically. It's almost 20 minutes that you will save. Rule 2, if you're stuck still after 2 minutes of starting the question, mark it and move on. Come back at the end. Never let one question drain time from probably 5 or 10 other questions. A question that you cannot answer immediately is definitely not worth 5 minutes of your time. Okay? 2 minutes or bust. Go on. Rule 3, eliminate first. Getting from 4 options to 2 options takes just a few seconds if you apply our formula, and deciding between 2 is far more faster than deliberating between 4 under the tremendous pressure which you are under in exam time. Rule 4, trust our decoder. Once you have filtered the signal from the scenario and eliminated the noise, you have exactly what you need. Don't go back and read the entire scenario. Trust your instincts. Invariably, the first answer which you think about will be the right answer. Decide and move on. So, three things to lock in before we move on to section 5. One is the question will be long and the answer will be very simple. Don't fight the length. You can't fight the length. Decode it. Use our formula of 4 steps: last line, keyword, filter, and auditor's answer. Just 4 steps. Consistently apply across all the questions and you will be absolutely fine. Number 2, scan for signals, skip the noise. Management assurances, system specifications, existing controls are all pure noise. Control gaps, missing reviews, risk indicators are all our signals. The more you practice spotting the signal, the faster you get. Number 3, most important, same time is budgeted across the 150 questions. This helps you do a faster execution. You are going to do for the last line first, which eliminates a lot of time and saves a lot of time, almost 30 seconds per question. So mark and move if you are getting stuck beyond 2 minutes, that's your cutoff. And trust yourself, trust your instinct. In section 5, we're going to talk about something very, very critical for the exam and something which bothers every single person, regardless of however well we are prepared. This is called the two option dilemma. When you have eliminated two answers and the remaining two are there with you and you don't know which one to choose, how do you choose that? And that's exactly what we're going to talk about in section 5. So see you there in section 5. All the best and yeah, happy auditing.